Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now. Let's kick it off, right? UFC 302 going down in New Jersey. Pay-per-view headlined by Makachev and Poirier. But the co-main event, we're going to get into that right now. A middleweight bout between Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa. Tarzan versus the Eraser. These guys are top 10 in the world, right? Sean Strickland, former champion. Paulo Costa, I don't even think... Oh, yeah, he's fought for the title, but now the champion.
Yeah.
But still super, super dangerous. What do you think, man? What is your initial thoughts on this?
Just based on activity, and to be fair, I think Strickland's defense that we saw against what won him the belt against Izzy. I think people are gonna count him out at first because obviously Costa is a power puncher, and the fact that they both kind of stay in the pocket and everything, you would think that Strickland will get tagged up, and maybe he will, but I actually think that he's got way better boxing defense than like people give him credit for. And I honestly think there's a good chance that he's gonna beat Costa, but I think it's gonna go the full distance.
And I think it's gonna be 5 rounds as well. Yeah, it is gonna be 5 rounds, this fight, which is very weird. I don't understand why the UFC's doing this. If they're paying the fighters more, then 5 rounds, fine. They have to go the extra 10 minutes. 10 minutes is worth a lot of money for a lot of these fighters, right? Because anything could happen. So if they're doing it and they're getting paid, I'm cool with it because they're getting paid.
Yeah.
But if they're not getting paid, why the hell are we doing 5 rounds? Especially if they're doing fight night main events, you got to pay the fighters more because they're fighting 5 rounds in the main event. And also they're the main event. Like, these things should be considered, right? But I don't know. Fans are fucking idiots. They're like, yeah, just make it 5 rounds, man. It's going to be a better fight. But you don't even think about, like, behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Like, these fighters have to train more and differently because it's 5 rounds.
A part of me wonders if the reason why they made this fight 5 was because Whitaker and Costa was 3, and I think some people were feeling that it could have been 5.
Yeah, but that's just the fans, though.
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
know. I'm just saying, sometimes the UFC does does hear it and change to pressure. Or
if it doesn't cost them nothing extra, why wouldn't they not do it? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But hopefully these guys are getting compensated. So let's get into Strickland first, right? Let's go through his history and what he's done in the last couple of years. Obviously, he's became the champion by beating Israel Adesanya at UFC 293. That was at the end of 2023. So before that, he had beat Abus Magomedov and Nasruddin Imavov. Imov's a good win. Magomedov, decent. There was a lot of talk about that fight too as well because it was a headlining. It was a headliner for like an Apex card, and they're like, "Why is Strickland fighting a no name?" Yeah, and everybody thought the same things. Like, he gets paid the same if he fought a top contender.
Probably,
and that's what the UFC offered, right? So he's gonna get paid. And Strickland's that type of guy. He's like, I want to fight, right? I want to be active. So 2023 was a phenomenal year for him, which is crazy, right? Because 2022, he had won his first fight against Jack Hermanson by split, then got knocked out by Alex Pereira, and then lost a split to Jared Cannonier. Then 2023 is when he went on the run and won 2 fights, got the title shot against Adesanya, won that, and then came back earlier this year in January and fought Dricus to a split decision. Arguably, a lot of people say he won that fight as well. Now he steps into the cage. 2024, 5 months later, less than 5 months later, against Paulo Costa. Paulo Costa, let's go through his career.
Costa's super inactive.
Yeah. That's the thing that Costa, 33 years old, He has 17 total fights in his career, 6-3 in the UFC. But like you said, he is very inactive. He made his UFC debut in 2017, and he only has 9 fights in the UFC. Think about that.
Yeah, that's
2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And let's say we don't even, that's 7 years he's had 9 fights, which is he's averaging like one and a half fights a year.
Yeah.
Which is not a good active streak, right? But when he hit the UFC, man, he went on a terror spree.
Yeah, I mean, he looked like a monster, right? All the way up until what, Izzy fights? Pretty much until he fought Izzy, right?
Yeah, he was undefeated until he fought Izzy, got knocked out, then lost a decision to Marvin Vettori, which was a good fight.
Yeah.
Then he beat Luke Rockhold, which was another good fight. Then
that was
he lost
a weird
to Robert,
fight.
lost to Robert Whittaker, which was a good fight as well.
I mean, all his fights, even win or lose, other than the Izzy fight, where he was weirdly inactive, if I remember, sort of gun shy. But all the other fights, they've been great fights, win or lose.
Well, we know what to expect from Sean Strickland and Costa. Like, they usually have their own game plan, and they try to utilize their own game plan on their opponents. So Strickland is more of, a boxer, pressure. I interviewed one of his training partners, right, who's been training with him for this fight, and he's been training with him for a couple of years now. And he said he was out of his mouth. He's like, Sean Strickland, he's not like a world beater. He's not like the best dude in the gym, but he's just good at everything, and he puts everything together, and he's fearless. And that's what makes him. And a lot of fighters, they don't have that. They don't have that fearlessness.
I really think he's so good at just like chipping away at guys. Just like even with Izzy, just chipped away at him. He just won all the little battles over and over and over again. And I know he dropped Izzy in, I think it was the first round of that fight and everything. But I just think, I think Strickland's going to do the same thing. I think it's going to be all rounds. Like, I think it's going to go the distance, and I think it'll be a unanimous decision, and I think it'll be a great fight. I see Strickland just sort of chipping away at Costa, and Costa maybe like getting round 3, because I know Costa can gas. So maybe the first 3 rounds will probably be competitive. Round 3, I think, will probably go to Costa, just because he does take a minute to warm up and then he gasses. So, but we've seen that, Strickland is good at pacing himself and sort of running that marathon. So, yeah, I just see Strickland winning.
Yeah, if Strickland wins, I see him implementing a lot of pressure, and defensively, he has to be really sound against Costa, because Costa can throw head kicks and haymakers, right? With both hands, and he throws combos, like he uppercuts, hooks, all kind, and they're all bad intentions, right?
Oh yeah.
So Sean Strickland has to be very defensively sound, and also like take breaks throughout the rounds. I think that's going to be important, just to not be engaging as much, you know what I mean? But still pressure, still like making them think. Yeah. And I could see him, winning the fight by decision, you know what I mean? But like maybe even outclassing him. But Paulo Costa will have his moments.
Yeah.
If Sean Strickland wins, that's what I see. Paulo Costa will have his moments, but Sean's going to win the whole fight. Because he's going to put it together, and he's going to be able to read him really well. On the flip side, I could see Paulo Costa winning this fight with the inside 3 rounds, because he's going to have his opportunities. And if he clips him and take advantages of that, and I think he has, the power to knock him out.
Yeah. No, he definitely does.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, if there is a knockout, I think it would be Costa within the first 3 as well. And it'd be Strickland just got sort of whether it be overconfident or he just went in too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But otherwise, I see Strickland not dragging, but like grinding, chopping, Costa out all the way for a UD.
Yeah. So that's the obvious choice, right?
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I put in money on Sean Strickland by decision or just Sean Strickland winning,
general,
right?
yeah.
But I'm an idiot, so I'm just going to go on the flip side, and I say Paulo Costa goes in there and gets the knockout inside 3 rounds. I think that I'm leaning towards that. I think that that's going to be what happens. But if Sean Strickland wins a decision, or even Sean Strickland somehow finishes Paulo Costa, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised either. But I'm picking Paulo Costa to bounce back and win this fight by knockout.
Okay.
Inside 3 rounds.
Okay.
All right.